Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Season Sunflower Hour live in the new year, guys. Welcome to 2024. I hope everyone's year has started off on an amazing note, and I want to hear all about it actually. So, hey, if you are tuning in, let us know where you are tuning in from and maybe give me the most exciting thing that has happened to you this year already, because it is just the beginning, guys. I know this is going to be a great year for everyone, and we are here to celebrate that with you. And if you haven't done it already, please make sure that you follow us here on Twitch and also head over to YouTube. In case you didn't know, we have an amazing YouTube channel that shares all of the past episodes, and it shares so many amazing things that ALS United is doing, and you can keep up to date on all of them. So head over to YouTube at ALS United Shy. I know Sam will probably put that link up there as well, but it's at ALS United Shy. So stay in tune with us and all the fun things that we are doing. Speaking of all the fun things that we are doing, you know I love saying this, but ALS United has so many amazing opportunities, events, all kinds of great things that they are doing. And this year is off to an incredible start. So we have coming up on February 6th, Living Well with ALS. These are such amazing events because, first of all, they're completely free of charge. That is huge. And it's online. Sam will correct me actually if I'm wrong. I believe it's still all online. So you can do this from anywhere in the world. So if you yourself are caring for someone with ALS, if you have ALS, if you know somebody that has ALS, please let them know about this event. It's coming up on February 6th, Living Well with ALS. The topic at hand that night is keeping the conversation going. This is a great way to get to talk with experts and our care service coordinators to just figure out how to deal with ALS, what to expect, what things to prepare for, things like voice banking. All of that information is completely free of charge. So the link is already up. If you yourself are going through this journey or know someone that is, spread that information to them because I promise you this will be incredibly helpful. Now, also, First Look for Charity, that is coming up. It's around the corner. So mark your calendars. That is on February 9th. My goodness, that will be here before we know it. First Look for Charity is such an amazing event, and we are so lucky to be one of the charity partners. So if you want to get to the Chicago Auto Show before everybody else, before it's open to the general public, you get the opportunity to do that. And not only do you get to come, but your ticket, a portion of that goes to this organization and gets to help us get further with research and gets us help provide incredible patient care free of charge to all of those that we serve. It is huge. First Look for Charity link is also up, and you'll get to meet some of the guests that are going to be on the show tonight, but you'll get to meet some of our family members, some of the ALS United members. They will be there. They will be so excited to enjoy the night with you and party. So check that out. And guys, this is such a huge moment. Let's kick this off just right by saying this year is the 20th anniversary of ALS United Greater Chicago. This is huge. For 20 years, we have been making a difference. We have been helping serve those in their fight with ALS, helping their families, helping get closer to research, and trying to find a way to not only make this disease livable, but get us closer to a cure. And all of you have been such a big part of that. We could not do this without you. So thank you for your love and support. We are going to celebrate all year long. So get ready to hear all kinds of incredible things. But 20 years, that is so huge. And a huge thank you to everyone for keeping us here 20 years strong. And one last final really awesome note on that high of our 20-year anniversary. If you had tuned in to a past episode and you got to see Andrea Pete, I'm sure you were just as inspired as I was by her, but we have a huge announcement. If you haven't seen it already, her movie, Go On, Be Brave, has been rocking it at film festivals. She has been traveling around doing some amazing things, spreading her story, and in tune, spreading ALS awareness, which is so needed, as we all know. Well, her movie, Go On, Be Brave, this is a huge milestone. Tomorrow, on January 17th, through Regal Theaters nationwide for one night only, this movie will be playing. And this movie is an inspiring look into her journey as the only person with ALS that has completed a marathon in all 50 states. You can come along that journey with her, see what that was like, and I guarantee you will walk away from that theater inspired. So tomorrow is the only night. Check it out. You can buy tickets. There is a showing in Chicago on the north side. Sam will also, that link is already up because she is that amazing. Head over there. And you know what, guys? If you can't make it out there, I know the weather's kind of rocky right now. If you can't make it out to Chicago, buy a ticket, because all of that still helps and supports the cause and spreads more awareness. And Regal is actually donating all of the tickets proceeds to ALS research. So even if you can't go, buy a ticket. Let's support the cause. Okay, guys, thank you. And again, as always, I love you for being a part of our family. And I am going to introduce you to some more of our Sunflower Hour family members that I know you're going to love just as much as I do. Now, kicking it off tonight, it's kind of become a tradition here at Sunflower Hour to start every new year. And we are so blessed to have multiple seasons of the show. Again, thank you to all of you. But we start every year off by having our very own president and CEO, Julie Sharpe, come in to kick us off. And we are doing the exact same thing here tonight. She is our fearless leader day in and day out as we continue to fight for awareness, patient care coming first, and to find a cure. So it is very fitting to have her as our very first guest and lead us into 2024 here at Sunflower Hour. So here to begin us on the right foot with a whole lot of sparkle and some Southern charm, please welcome our president and CEO of ALS United Greater Chicago, Julie Sharpe.
Hi, Susan. How's it going?
Oh, it is so good. And I just get so excited when I get to see you. So this is my favorite way to start the year. And speaking of that, before we started, we were running out of time, but you were telling me you're actually right now surrounded by some really amazing ALS things. Can you show us that? Can you tell us what's happening behind you?
So there's been a couple events over the last 20 years, and this is a beautiful piece of artwork that I acquired during one of the ALS art shows that was held at the Allerton Hotel many, many moons ago. And then on the other side, I have a piece that a dear friend of mine, Jesus Salergo, who is, partner with Art Smith and dear friends of ours there in the Chicago area. And they had been to one of our Bite Night events, and Jesus had gifted me with the picture. And he's also a personal friend of mine and my family. But it's just gorgeous and exciting. So I have lots of, ALS love around me all the time.
I love that. It's such a vibe too.
Yes.
I feel it all the way over here.
Absolutely. So here we are. We're kicking off our 20th year. It's amazing. It's hard to believe. It's insane. I just celebrated my 19th year, going on my 19th year of the 20 years with the Chicago crowd. And it's amazing when we reflect back, and more exciting to look forward to all that we have coming up.
And I think it's a huge testament that you've been here for 19 of the 20 years. I mean, it's just what you've done with this, what you've grown this into, and the team that you've put around you has just created magic. And it's a place nobody wants to leave. So that says it all.
And I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful for that. And, I believe it surrounding yourself with really awesome people, you can make incredible things happen. And we have one of the best teams in the country, I believe, serving the individuals living with ALS and our community day in, day out, providing care, creating awareness, advocating, generating funding so that our programs and services are able to be provided. Those who help us, let us help others. And that's, just such a gift.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, because you had just mentioned something so important, that when you put that right team of people together, what you can do is just, and I love saying this because it is so true. Your team, you guys are the complete queens of making the impossible possible. No matter what gets thrown at you, COVID comes, you guys can change, you can shift, you can continue to grow and be more successful and help more individuals, no matter what life throws at you. So for those that may have missed some of these episodes or that haven't seen or been following along with what this organization's been doing, what are some of the highlights of what you guys accomplished last year? Because every year you keep blowing these goals and milestones just out of the water. You're exceeding them. So what are some of those highlights from last year?
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many awesome accomplishments over the year, this past year. I mean, when we sat back, we sit as a team, when we come together at the end of the year, we look at our strategic objectives, we assess the landscape, and we had so many opportunities to celebrate. And I don't believe on resting on your laurels, and the team never does that. We keep our foot on the pedal, the foot on the pedal to the metal, whatever that saying is, and we're always still moving forward. But I think you have to sit back and you have to reflect. And there's a lot of hard work that goes into what we do day in, day out across the board. I think, one of the great accomplishments this year was having the opportunity to host our educational symposium in person again, and bringing together our caregivers and our individuals living with ALS, our vendor partners, a representative from the Illinois Technological Assistance Program, a member of Team Gleason who came and talked about, and Elisa Brownlee. These are some real heavy hitters that are in the ALS communication space and home adaptation space. And we all know that's so important to quality of life for individuals. And bringing that back into person was just a huge hallmark, I think, for the entire ALS community. They loved it. I encourage you this coming year. We'll have that coming up in October again. Go ahead and mark your calendar. It's probably already on our calendar on our website to be a part of. It's just a really engaging day. It's a vendor expo. Then there's a luncheon, and during which we have an expert panelists that speak about certain topics. I heard you mention the Living Well with ALS, the webinar series. That's just an incredible program that we shifted gears during COVID and have continued because we found it to be so informative and timely. And we really look at what the needs are of the community from an education standpoint and resource standpoint. And then Jemana and Peggy and Gemma and Kelly and Brianna, the newer member to the team, really go out and seek the right speakers and the right folks that can help educate. We were able to grow our care services team this year. Excited about that. Brianna is the newest member of the team, and she's just bringing such tremendous ideas. And Sue joined us also this past year, and she's helping with some of the initiatives up in Northern Illinois. So it's a real awesome thing to be able to expand our care services team. On the other side of the coin, we were able to expand the team and bring on Kat, who's really helping with our volunteer program and with our she's basically our finance department. But volunteer-wise, we have some really neat things that we're going to be leaning into this coming year with the volunteer assistance program. Brianna is really going to be this coming year focusing on a program that we launched a couple years ago called Kids Need Support Too. So staying tuned for that. There's a lot more coming down the pike.
I love that you're leaning into that you're leaning into really, because this does affect, we say that on the show all the time. This isn't just about the person walking through the ALS journey. It's affecting everyone. And this is happening to our mothers and our fathers and our grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles, and kids are affected by this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have some really exciting strategic initiatives coming up this year that we look forward to sharing. As far as where we've been this last year and the last 20 years, Samantha leads the team and puts together an incredible year in review. Many of those were mailed to the households, but if you haven't received one, there's an opportunity to go online somewhere on our website, alsunitedchicago.org, and it's all right there. Sam's doing an amazing job of keeping all that up to date and relevant and easy to find. You can also subscribe to our newsletters there. You can sign up to advocate. We have many opportunities. Team ALS blew it out of the water. The run program this last year, the ALS Classic golf outing was insane, record breaking that day. The walk program surpassed all of our goals, and it was such a significant day throughout our service territory for individuals living with ALS and families and friends, all coming together in community to, celebrate, remember, honor, and support our programs.
Like you said, the list is just endless. We could sit here for days and just talk about all of the accomplishments that you guys not only achieved, but just blew out of the water last year. It was so exciting to get to watch. And I don't know that it's possible to top it, but this happens every year. So we're going to be here again next year talking about how you topped it again. So what are some of these, when you guys sat down for that strategic meeting and looked into 2024, what are some of the things we can expect from this organization in this upcoming year?
Really, we're going to be shoring up the foundation of some of our educational programming. We have been working on the Caregivers Boot Camp, which is a hallmark program of ours that we developed that really helps guide caregivers who are stepping into the role of assisting an individual living with ALS about what does it mean to be a caregiver and what are all the resources that are out there. And that's something that happens throughout the year. You can also talk to a care service coordinator, and they can link you into some of the information if you need it sooner rather than later than when the events are hosted. As I mentioned, the programming, revamping some of the Kids Need Support Too, the volunteer assistance program. We've got a target of, we've got some pretty lofty goals for the walk, the run, the golf, so if individuals want to take action and participate in that capacity, excited to have First Look for Charity, kind of kicking off the year and kicking off our 20th year anniversary. We ended the year on an insane highlight with Art and Athletics, which was a collaboration or a coming together of the art world through a renowned worldwide photographer by the name of David Yarrow, presenting Coach Matt Eberflus of the Chicago Bears with an Gridiron Horse Award for his commitment of generating awareness. His father actually passed away from ALS. And this was a real moving event for us that was hosted, that we were the beneficiaries of. It was called Art and Athletics. There's information online about that. I mean, it was such a fantastic year. And I was so excited for, all members of the team. I have to go through now. We have Sam and Sarah and Kendra. Lauren's a beautiful new addition who's helping going to be helping us with the WALK program this coming year. And you'll get to know more about her. We have obviously the amazing care services team. We have Betty, who works behind the scenes as our admin, who really is the glue that holds us all together. It's just, we're very, very fortunate to be able to have such incredible colleagues that we get to work alongside every day. But I'm really excited because the team that we've assembled that's supporting the families that we serve.
Yeah. Well, you put it together and you are leading the ship here. And I think you are also the glue that holds everyone together. So I am so thankful for all of you because it has been 20 years of absolutely incredible work. And everyone I have talked to, or everyone that has been on this show that has experienced what this organization can provide, they have all said it is life-changing experiences. It is life-changing help that they would not have been able to walk this journey without. So I am excited to see what this new year brings for ALS United, because like we said, every year, I think it cannot get better, and it gets better. So everyone stay tuned. Stay tuned, because this is going to be
about what's happening in the research realm and the advocacy realm. And there's so many different things. I think there's a lot of optimism and reason for light and good things to be happening this year for the ALS community. So I'm excited to see what happens this year too, Season. And it's always
I
awesome to
can't
be here
wait.
with you.
And I can't wait to have you back to give us all these amazing,
Mm.
great updates again. I love when we get to hear it straight from your mouth on all the incredible things that you ladies have been working on. And real quick, before you go, Julie, hit them with that website again. Let everybody know where they can go to find out all the information, all the events you were talking about, and how they can get involved.
ALSUnitedChicago.org is where they can go. And it is my honor and my privilege to be in this role and to serve the ALS community. And look forward to having us gather one day when we can just celebrate, because there have been we've created a world without ALS.
I can't wait for that party.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait for that party. And it's going to happen. I know it. So thank you
Yes.
for everything you do, Julie. I'm so excited, so excited for this
Yeah.
upcoming year. I know you're going to rock it. And we know we'll see you back here on the show very soon.
I hope so. Thanks, Season.
Bye. Oh, it is so fun getting her. Julie is so crazy busy because she is the woman behind all of this. She's running everything and keeping everybody going strong and motivated. So I love when we get to snag some of her precious time and get her on here so you can hear straight from her all the amazing things that this organization has been doing and will continue to do. So make sure you head over to that website because as Julie was saying, there are so many ways to get involved. If you want to get involved financially, we appreciate that. That is huge. We could not do this without you because everything we provide is free. So we need your help there. But if that's not an option, there are so many other roles that we need with volunteering, with giving your talents and the treasures you offer. So many endless opportunities. So head over to the website to find out how you can help. Because I promise this is a family that you are going to want to be a part of. Now, speaking of family, that is something close to my heart. I hope everyone watching here, I know my family is watching for sure, but I hope everyone else loves their family just as much as we do over here. Now, I got to talk with, I love this. I love when all those hearts come in. Absolutely. And this year it did rock. And as Julie said, Sam does such an incredible job of putting the year end review together. So guys, definitely check that out for all the incredible things that happen throughout the year. They're amazing. Now, again, family is so important. It's so important to us here at Sunflower Hour and definitely at ALS United. And our next guest is just one half of the unstoppable mother-daughter duo. She is insanely close to her family, which I love, and that gets me so excited. Her and her mom, apparently she was telling me, are kind of like the same person, which I can relate to. I think that's super adorable. They have spent a lifetime together, just laughing together, learning together, and even working together, which is so cool. In 2011, Katherine's mom was diagnosed with ALS. And as you can imagine, it was a diagnosis that just completely rocked the entire family to the core. And through all of that, Katherine was able to witness firsthand just how strong her mom truly is. Her never-ending positivity and fight were an inspiration not only to Katherine, but to all those around her. And 13 years later, and I'm so excited that I get to say these words, 13 years later, her mom is still battling, still fighting ALS with a smile on her face and a desire to live every single day to its fullest, which is something that Katherine strives to do as well. Like mother, like daughter, it sounds like. So here to share her story and tell us about her mom, please welcome Katherine Takiguchi.
Hi,
Hi.
Season.
Hello. I am so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And this is one of my favorite things about the show is I get to meet some of the incredible people that are advocating and that are volunteering and that are just championing for this cause that I feel like you and I have been at so many of the same events maybe in the past and we never actually met each other. So it took the show to actually connect us, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So welcome. And now you are part of the Sunflower Hour family. So we know that family is so important here. I know you are incredibly close to your family. So how the holiday season just ended, how was the holidays with your family? And were there maybe any really cool traditions that you look forward to every single year?
Yeah, so the holiday season, of course, it's a little chaotic. I think the holiday season for everyone
Always.
is. I have three little nephews. The oldest is 4, and the youngest was actually born in July. So we kind of had a new member to the family this year, which is really exciting. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, so the holidays have been a little different the last few years, but one tradition that we kept going, that we kept alive was and I remember doing this as a kid every year growing up. We always made sure to take one night to decorate my parents' Christmas tree. So my sister lives in Milwaukee. I have a brother and he lives in Chicago as well. So we all kind of gathered at my parents' house and we decorated the tree. This year we did a little competitive gingerbread house competition among each other. So I had
Yes.
one of my nephews, my brother had another, my brother-in-law was there, and it got a little competitive, but it was
Okay.
really, really fun. Everybody was really involved. We ate a lot, laughed a lot, listened to Christmas music. It was just a really great time, and it was so funny because
Perfect.
the kids love decorating the tree. And when you looked at it, you could see a lot of the ornaments were on the bottom. And then as it kind of went up, where they couldn't reach, it got a little bit less and less. But it was such a great time. And I look forward to that day every year.
Oh, I love that. I am all about some competitive gingerbread making. I
Oh,
wish there
yeah.
was footage of this because I feel like those are when the best moments come out.
I know there was maybe some sabotaging, maybe people were pushing other people. We got a little
Okay.
competitive, but it was really, really fun.
You went for it. It got real there. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I miss
Oh,
those
yeah.
moments. My family and I used to do that too. Every year was a new Christmas craft, and it was always a competition. Like who can make the ugliest scarf or
Yeah.
gingerbread or cookie. Yeah. Oh, that is so much fun. I love that you guys do that. I want to give some shout outs
Yeah.
real quick to those that are jumping in the comment section. I'm so excited. I love seeing people tune in. We got a big happy 2024 from Tom and Amber Salesman. They were on a past episode. Catherine, I think you would just love them. And get ready, you two. Thank you for tuning in and watching because you will be back on the show. And Tom, I'm putting you to work. You're going to be the correspondent that's going out there. Get some stuff for us. So I'm so glad that they are tuning in. Now, diving in a little bit to a kind of a heavier topic. we know how rough the this topic of ALS is, and what you and your family are going through right now. Just in no other words, it just sucks. Because in 2011, your mom was diagnosed. How did that diagnosis? I mean, this is such a big thing. I don't even know how you answer this. How did that diagnosis hit your mom? How did it affect her, and how did it affect your whole family?
So obviously, with any news like this, whether it's ALS or anything else, it's really, really difficult. I think at the time, so in 2011, when I found out, I was between my first and second year of college. So I wasn't living full time at home. I was out of state. My sister was living in Milwaukee, and my brother was in college as well. So, none of us were really home really at all. It was a few trips a year we'd come back. Um, but it was difficult because I don't think any of us were really there when she found out. We were all sort of in our different areas. And it was so I think my mom found out in the early of 2011. I found out a little bit later in August of 2011. And I think not having any idea really what it meant, what ALS was, what to even really expect, I think it was just extremely difficult. I mean, I was learning most of this mainly just from a Google search, which, as we all know, WebMD is not the most accurate and also just a scary place to go. So I think it was really difficult just not being there and not knowing what to expect. So it hit us hard. We didn't really know what to do or what to
Yeah.
expect. I don't really know how my siblings handled it. I think we were there for each other, but we handled it in our own ways. But we were all learning together. So, um, while I don't know how they exactly handled it, I know that I did not talk about it to anyone. I know it hit me so hard, I kind of just kept to myself. I didn't tell any of my friends. I didn't talk about it really to anyone. Um,
Yeah.
but I did really rely on my family for support. And while it wasn't necessarily explicit, verbal, telling each other, talking about things with each other, we were always there for each other. We showed up for each other. We showed up for,
Mm.
our family, and just making sure that we were together and we were each other's support system. So I do think that it was hard, but it did bring us very, very close together. I think we were probably already close, but this definitely brought us closer.
Yeah, I remember you saying that even when we were just talking yesterday that, ALS, it really does take so much from you. And it's easy to fall into focusing in all the negative that
Yeah.
ALS can bring to your life. But there are some really beautiful things that can come of this. And I just remember you saying that was one of the things that kind of changed, that ALS did that. So let's dive into that a little bit more. I mean, is that the thing that, if you can think of maybe one of the great things that came out of ALS, if we can even say that? I know that sounds awful, but is that maybe the most important thing that came from this crazy journey?
Oh, absolutely. I think it changed all of our perspectives. I think, growing up, you kind of focus on really minor things. I know for me, so I have an older brother and sister. My brother is a year older than me. So we grew up together. We were really close. We went to the same undergraduate, went to the same law school. We were always together. But my sister was 4 years older than me. So I felt as though maybe she was always in a different phase of life than I was.
Okay.
So it was a little bit harder to relate to her. And growing up, my poor parents had to deal with us arguing all of the time. If we found a reason to argue, we would argue. And even if there wasn't a reason to argue, we would find one. So I just think
Okay.
it was really difficult because we would butt heads about everything. But I do really, really vividly remember, and I don't know if I would call this a core memory, but it might be. I remember being in college after we found out about my parents, and my sister texted me, and she said something like, just checking in on me. It was just something pretty casual. I don't know. Actually can't remember exactly how the conversation started, but she reached out to me and we were just talking back and forth. And I had said to her, I haven't talked to anyone about this. And I remember her saying, like, okay, we have to promise something to each other. We have to promise that if you ever feel sad, if you ever feel alone, if there's ever anything that's bothering you, you have to reach out to me and we have to be there for each other. So it was like as if something happened, and I swear we've never argued since. Like, it was just such a change in our relationship. And like you said, it sucks. The diagnosis sucks. Dealing with it just sucks. And there's no better way to say it. But I think it really did allow us to say, let's just get rid of all of this BS and throw away any of these silly things that we would argue about before. And let's really focus on just being there for each other and being a family. And that is something I'll remember forever, because I just remember it meant so much to me just knowing that, we are family, and we knew that deep down.
Yeah.
It just kind of took something really big for us to really focus on that.
It's sad that it took that, but I think it's beautiful that something so amazing came out of that. And another really amazing thing too that we definitely need to talk about is, I mean, the average life expectancy for someone diagnosed with ALS is about 2 to 5 years. I mean, it's awful. And the organization is working so hard to help try to change that. But as of right now, the life expectancy is very short, and your mom is approaching her year 13. This is 13 years she has been battling with ALS. She's still working. She is still fighting it. Yeah, you guys work together. She's still a practicing attorney. She's still showing up to work every day, showing up for the family. What's it been like to witness that journey? Because as you and I were also talking about, it's things people don't think about. It's things that you and I take for granted, that we can get up and brush our teeth, that we can get up and put our clothes on in the matter of seconds. And someone that is fighting ALS, everything is so much harder. So 13 years into this, and she is still showing up every single day. What's it like to witness that and what she's been through for the last 13 years? And maybe through all of that, what did you learn about yourself?
Oh my gosh, Susan, it is incredible. It is incredible to watch her do all of this. I mean, I know, and I know she is definitely the kind of person that does not like to ask for help. She will do something and she will make sure she gets it done. And she's also the person that will put everybody before herself. So just to see her be so strong and never complain, she never complains. I it's so hard because like I feel as though I know she's in pain, I know she's in discomfort, I know things are difficult for her, but she'll never tell us.
Yeah.
And so it's almost as though we have to pick up on it. We have to figure out little cues of hers that we know when we should step in, or where we can help out. Like you said, little things. One thing that I know I try to do and I've done in the past is, if we're going out to dinner, I will make sure that if we have a reservation somewhere, I'll try to walk in, see where the table is. I've asked them to move it closer. I've asked for, I try to avoid high top tables, things like that. And so I just do things like that just to make sure. But yeah, she is incredible. It is incredible to see her still fighting, still doing everything. She works long hours every single day. Like, I don't know how she does it. I feel tired just watching her, and it is incredible. But I just think that I remember growing up, she always would say things to me like, it doesn't matter what happens, something negative can happen to you, but it's how you respond to that. It's what you do. It's your reaction that is what matters. So it almost seems as though, she knows this is happening, but she's going to fight through it.
I love that. And it sounds so easy. It sounds so easy to just say, oh, yeah, I can do this with a smile on my face, but it's not. It takes so much courage, and it takes so much behind all of that to make it look as effortless as I'm sure your mom does.
Yeah. I seriously don't know how she does it.
Look, moms are superheroes. There's no other way to say it. Moms are just superheroes. I don't know what they do, how they do it, but they do it.
I know.
She sounds incredible, but I'm telling you,
she's absolutely my role model. She is definitely the number one person I look up to. I always say I want to be just like her. I know you kind of joked about this before. We are very similar. Our personalities are very, very similar. My dad always gets so annoyed hanging out with us because he's like, I don't understand either of you. You have your own language. But she really is. She really is my role model. I look up to her a lot.
I love that. Do you guys look alike too? Are you very similar looking?
I think we are. If you look at her pictures of her as a kid, I think we look a lot alike.
I love it. You're her mini. That is so cool. Well, when you were describing her to me, I mean, she sounds like an incredible woman, but I see a lot of that in you too. So I love that. I mean, you are. She may be your role model, but I mean, you're embodying that. You have that same strength. You have that same drive. I can see a lot of that in you just from the short amount of time that I've gotten to talk with you. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, she's taught me a lot. She's definitely taught me a lot. So I have her to thank for that.
I love, what is maybe one of the most, what's one of those lessons that just comes to mind right away that came from your mom? One of those things you always take with you, or maybe a specific lesson or story or quote that you live by that came from your mom?
One thing that she told me while I was in law school, she would always tell me, basically, you just got to fake it. You got to fake the confidence. Nobody's going to know and nobody's going to question you if you just walk in and you be confident about something. And I specifically remember her telling me this because it was maybe something like a mock trial or something of that sort. And I was so nervous. And I remember her saying, you just got to walk in and whatever you say, you have to say it with so much confidence, because not a single person is going to question you if you do that. So that's definitely something that I learned from her. And it's so funny because when I meet newer attorneys, I will always tell them that. I will always say, my mom told me this and it has helped me so much. And I've actually had people come back to me and say, thank you for telling me that. It really has worked. So I'm kind of taking things she's taught me and teaching other people them because I know that they work.
This is hilarious. So I don't want to totally bust your secret out here, but so have you done this? Have you literally just gone in and had no idea what you're doing, but you just faked it and it worked? Is
I
that
don't
what we're
know.
saying happened?
I am usually someone who likes to prepare, so I don't know if that's it, but I will go in. I get a little nervous about things, and I will go in and act like it's absolutely nothing. So I think it's more to calm the nerves. But
Love
I
it.
don't know if I've ever, not had any idea what I was gonna do. I am a little bit of an over preparer, so
I mean, that's the quality we all want in our attorneys. So kudos to that. I love it. But I like this, guys. Yeah, confidence is key.
it
Have
is.
it. Always just have it. And as Catherine's mom would say, if you don't have it, fake it, and no one will question it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it works.
Well, I know that in 2011 your mom was diagnosed, but it took you a little bit to find your way to ALS United. So I mean, you came to us around 2014. How did you find us, and sort of what was that difference like? Did you see a difference of those years that you were sort of going at it alone compared to when you found this organization? Did that change anything for you?
So I think I found out about the organization in 2014, and I learned about it through my mom's secretary, Kathy. So shout out to Kathy because she definitely played a pretty big part in me finding the organization. Um, and what happened was she started a team for Team ALS for the Chicago Marathon, and she was running
Oh,
in honor of my mom. And the team name was named after my mom and everything. And that's when I first learned about the organization. It was the following year that I got a little bit more involved, where she kind of passed the team on to me and my family. And so instead of her running the marathon, we took the team name and we kept it going. So it was me, my brother, sister, and dad who ran the marathon in 2015. And we ran it
wow.
under the same name, under the same team. And I felt like it was a total change. I mean, the years before that, I was not even thinking about anything. I was actively trying to ignore it. And so I think it really did give me an opportunity to address what was going on and actually think about it, talk about it, and start sharing my story. So it really did open my eyes.
Wow. Yeah, I want to dive into that a little bit because I know you said that, and I think you're probably not the only one that had this reaction. This horrible thing has happened in your family, and I know you told me you just wanted to kind of pretend it didn't exist because saying it out loud would make it real, and you didn't. You kept it quiet. You said you didn't tell anybody, but it took this. So this was kind of, I think, right, your first moment of running this marathon, running for Team ALS was the first time you sort of told your friends, you put it out there to the world that this is what was happening. And then what was that reaction that you saw? Because I know even social media played a part in that. What was that
Mhm.
reaction that happened once you finally started sharing that story and telling the world what you were going through?
Yeah, so it was in 2015. So I would say I probably knew for about 4 years before I told any of my friends. And I knew I was going to have to share my story. I was writing a story for my fundraising page. So, I mean, it was inevitable. I had to face it. Um, but what I did was I sort of pulled my friends aside and I told them privately before I posted anything, just because I thought, I don't want them to be upset if they find out about it online versus from me. Um, but I think once I started telling my story, I actually just received such a positive feedback. I started getting connected to people, learning that it's not, as rare as I thought it was. It felt like it was just my family that was going through this, but the more I was sharing it, the more people I was meeting and hearing about and hearing their stories and learning that, we're not alone here. And it was just people were so incredibly supportive. It was just I don't know what I was expecting, but it was just not anything I expected. And I think as the support started coming in, it just made it so much easier to continue sharing it. And so it just gave me more and more confidence to keep going back and talking about it and really facing what was going on.
Yeah. And you were even running for them, right? I know that more people were speaking up and saying, hey, I'm going through this too. I lost a loved one because of this. And is that what helped fuel you to get you through that very first marathon in 2015?
So I think in 2015, I really ran it because of my family. I think that was more, I was
Okay.
learning about people, and people knew, I think people started hearing about ALS. They started hearing about what it was. I think, um, when I would tell people I was running for that, people knew what it was. So I think in 2015, really the biggest motivator was my family, knowing that they were in the race too. We were all there. I remember texting my sister during it, being like, "You got this, keep going." Both of us being like, "We don't have this, we can't keep going," but always, and we just kept running though, and we made it. So I do think in 2015, the biggest part was mostly my family.
Okay. I love that you did that together. And I love that we were saying this. It's the best kind of crazy. To me, it's straight up crazy. Anyone that says I want to run 26.2 miles, but the best kind of crazy. And it wasn't just you, it was your family. And I love that you
Yeah.
guys did that together. That is solid. And okay, so obviously, let's talk about this experience because we were kind of talking about this pre-show before we started. What was your experience like being part of Team ALS?
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I truly think that I only continued to run the marathon. I ran it in 2015, then again in 2016, and again last year in 2023. I just kept coming back because of the team and the organization. I mean, the event itself, the Chicago Marathon, is crazy. Everybody is so
Yeah.
hyped for you. You really do feel like a rock star. You feel like you're winning the race, and everybody's just so supportive, whether it's other people running. I mean, I had other people cheering me on that was running next to me, and then I had spectators who were cheering me on. I would have so many people yelling like, go Team ALS. It was crazy. But I think as much fun and how amazing the actual event is, the team and the organization, it was just so incredible. They did so much for their participants. They checked in with us. We had meetings every so often where you could come with your issues, your questions, concerns, whatever, and they would answer them. And we had an there was in this last, or one of the last check-ins we had, someone had mentioned that there was like a physical therapist who was offering sort of like free advice, free workouts, free stretches, things like that, for people who were training. And so I remember messaging him on Facebook, and he gave me so many good stretches and things I could try because I was having some pain in my foot, in one of my feet. And so just to have resources like that, they really put us in connection with that. The night before the actual race, they do a whole big dinner for us. It's sort of your carb load dinner. And it's
Yeah.
so incredible because you get to meet the other runners. It was such a big team this year. It was like, I could not believe how many people were running for the team this year or last year. And you just got to meet people. I went, everybody gets a +1, and I went, and I only knew my boyfriend who I was running with. And we sat at a table, we met a whole group, nobody knew each other. We met everybody. We got to hear why they were running. And it was almost like an instant connection with those people. You have something in common. And it was like an instant supporter, someone who's, telling you, you got this. So it was just such an amazing experience. They do so much for their runners, and I could not ask for a better team to be with. And I really think that's the only reason why I have ran 3 marathons so far.
Is it just 3? Is there 4 in the future? Are we going to see you back this year?
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. As much discomfort and pain it causes, it's just such a great experience. And like I said, the team is like just so incredible.
Ugh. I love that. I love when you get to actually share your experiences. So if anyone out there is watching this, honestly, I say this wholeheartedly. Katherine is here to back this up. There is no experience like being a part of Team ALS. I think you even said you would never run. You couldn't even fathom doing the marathon without being a part of Team ALS because it is just on another level. They take care of you. They are there for you throughout the entire year of free training. You have free coaching. You have equipment checks. You have check-ins, you've got these dinners and team photos, you've even got cheer tents of people cheering you on, keeping you going. You have massages after the race. You've got this VIP suite that you can meet with your family. They can see the race from up top. I mean, there are just so many incredible benefits to running for Team ALS, and you get to run for people like Katherine's family. Like, she's out there running for her mom. You want to join this team, I highly encourage it. If you've been on the fence and you're thinking about it, I mean, I'm sure Katherine would be super happy to reach out to you and talk to you as well, but do it. And now it is like now or never, guys, because as she said, we had a record number of runners on Team ALS for the Chicago Marathon last year. Those bibs are getting snatched up. You can no longer get into the Chicago Marathon any other way. And our bibs they are limited. We only have certain spots and they are filling up quick. We are over halfway full at this point already. Half of over that. I think, Sam, do you know what the number is, but I know that over half of those bibs have already been taken. So numbers are limited. If you are thinking about running, join the Chicago Marathon for Team ALS. Sam will put that link up in the comment section. And you heard it right here, guys. Katherine will be running. So you can be right there with her, cheering her on. And now, Katherine, you mentioned, I think, so you roped someone else into running last year with you. You had mentioned your boyfriend. What was that like? And did he regret it?
Oh my
Is he
gosh,
going to be
I
back with you in
don't.
2024?
I have no idea how I convinced him to do this. So it's funny because when I first mentioned it to him and brought the idea to him, he, without any hesitation, he just agreed. And I was like, okay, he must really want to do this, you know? Um, and
Yeah.
and we got through training. He was my biggest supporter during training. If I did not want to run, I would be like, I just don't want to do this today. I just want to rest today. And he would be the one that'd be like, no, you have to do it. He travels a lot for work, so he is often not around. But even then, he'd be like, you got this. You have to do it. So even when he's not, there with me, he's still, texting me, telling me, you got this. You could do it. It's only this many miles. It'll be over before you know it. So throughout all training, he made no complaints, said nothing. It was after the marathon that I found out he doesn't like running. He didn't want to do it, but he saw how excited I was. And he said the only reason why I did it was because I know how much it means to you. And I saw how excited you got when you brought this idea to me. So he hit it very well. Again, confidence is key. But he hit it very, very well, and he got through it all. Even during the race, I remember texting him maybe around mile 17. I think I was coming up to mile 18, and that's sort of when I hit my wall. And he had passed me. He had run a little bit faster. And I think he was maybe like 4 miles ahead of me. And I texted him and I said, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I'm approaching mile 18. And he said, oh, he's like, you got this. Keep going, keep going. And he's like, just like, I'll be there. I'll be at the end. And I thought, okay. So I just kept going. I didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden I see him and I'm like, what is going on? He actually ended up just stopping and waiting for me. So he just knew I was struggling so much, and he got there, and I really don't know if I could have finished that race without him, because I hit such a wall where I was just in so much pain, and he was really there to be like, okay, we'll start running, we'll walk, we'll run. And he kept me going. So I really have him to thank a lot for this last race, because he helped me a lot. And I feel so bad because I'm sure I ruined his time by probably hours because he waited for me. So next time I will have to, if he decides to join me, I will have to make sure that I don't bring him, a little bit slower in his pace.
No, I mean, he gets the trophy for best boyfriend in the world. That is so beautiful. And that is, again, like Julie was saying, the right team, everything is possible. And same goes in all relationships. Like, what a partner to stand by you and say, hey, I got you. Don't you worry. He was right there for you. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, and I know that if he had told me he was waiting, I would have been like, absolutely not. Before the race, during training, I was consistently running a little bit further and a little bit faster than him. And so before the race, we made an agreement where we're not holding anyone back. If you pass someone, you just have to keep going. And I think he just knew that, yeah, we made that agreement, but I also know where you're at. So I think he just knew that. And he was, yeah, kind of said, I don't care what we agreed on, this is more important. So again, I really don't know if I could have crossed that finish line without him.
Was your family there to get to see this moment of you crossing the finish line? Your mom getting to see you do this for her?
So they weren't at the finish line. They were at one of the tents for ALS United. It was mile 23. So they were all there. It was my whole family. It was my brother, sister, nephews, brother-in-law, my parents. They were all there, and it was so exciting to see them. I mean, at that point, I'm struggling, and I was like, I have to run. They have to see me running. And so we really pushed to make sure that we at least ran for a good amount around them. But they were so excited. They had, their chairs. They were waiting for us. They were tracking us. They had water for us. We stopped and we talked to them a little bit, and it was so exciting, and it added to the motivation of, I'm going to see them at mile 23. You got to keep going.
I love that. Yeah, I think that is so important. It's the same thing if anyone's watching. I mean, you heard it straight from Catherine's mouth. That cheer tent is everything. It is, you guys are just going through it. You are putting your bodies through something that is so tough, and just something as simple as having somebody there to remind you can do this means everything. And you did it. You didn't only do it one time, but you did it 3 times. You're about to approach number 4. And speaking of all of that, not only because this is what a rock star you are in the world of ALS awareness and advocacy, because not only did you run for Team ALS, but you're also super involved with the Walk to Defeat ALS as a volunteer. So what is that experience like for you? Like, and why was it so important, really, at the end of the day, to want to get so involved in the organization and come out and give your time and run and put your body through all of that? Why is this so important to you?
I mean, I think that spreading awareness is really important because I really do think the more people we can get involved in this, the more, likely we can get some advancements in treatment and, hopefully a cure one day. I would honestly trade anything in the world for a cure. And I think that is really important. I think also just, my mom has been my biggest supporter my whole life. I think I could come to her with the craziest idea and she'd be like, yeah, let's do it. And she would support me the whole way. So I think it's just my way of being able to support her. I think it also just gives me a chance to meet people. I think the organization is incredible because I have met so many people. And like I had said a little earlier, I, kept pretty quiet about this for the first few years. And this organization really gave me sort of a community to be able to reach out to and talk to and meet people who are going through the same things and really just learn to accept what's going on and also be proud of it, be proud to be part of this community because everybody is just so supportive and so positive. And there are a lot of people who are going through the same thing. And to be able to learn from them, I've learned so much from people. And with the walk, I know that I volunteer, and that really gives me the opportunity to hear people's stories. And their stories, like, motivate me. They give me, a sense of sort of like empowerment to just keep going and to continue to volunteer and do things. I know that the last few times I volunteered at the walk, I've done the check-in, and that gives you an opportunity to like put a face to a name and see what they're doing. And, everybody, they always ask, what's your connection? You talk to them and ask what theirs is. And so just being able to meet people and have this little community who supports you and helps you out and teaches you, it's just so incredible. So just being part of all of this is so important because I think it's really helped me learn, grow, accept, and just fight through this.
Yeah. I think that's a huge thing, what you just said, that community helps you accept, and not only accept, but it helps you in a way. I've heard from a lot, it helps you cope, to know that you're not alone. And this is something really heavy, and to have to deal with that on your own, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So to be able to be surrounded by people that can support you and be there for you and know what you're going through is pretty priceless.
Yeah, it really is. I seriously, this community has helped me so much. I feel as though I am a totally different person just because of the people that I've met, the people I've worked with, ran with, volunteered with. It's just so, so incredible.
Wow. That is so special. That's so special to hear. And yeah, again, I'm repeating myself a million times, but this is the family that you don't ever want to have to be a part of. But if you find yourself here, it is a family that you are in, and with endless love and support. And, we embrace you. We embrace you into this family, and we're right there whenever you need us. So we're glad you're part of this family.
I am so happy to be part of this family, and I know the rest of my family is as well. I know my mom takes advantage of the resources the organization has. I know my brother and sister, my brother volunteers with me. My sister's done the walk. We've all ran. So I think we are all very, very happy to be part of this family.
Love it. It's a family, and it's a family affair at the same time. So I hope that I get to meet you guys in person very, very soon. But as we were closing this, I want to, on the same sort of theme, we got to hear from Julie, our president and CEO of ALS United, and she was kind of going over some of the 2024 goals for this chapter, for this organization. So are there any big goals on your must achieve list for you for this upcoming year?
I think really just to make this year better than the last. I had a great 2023, but I want to make 2024 even better. I want to be able to run the marathon and not text my boyfriend that I'm crashing and struggling. I want to, just be able to continue doing what I'm doing, but just make it better.
I love that. I love that, guys. Let's on that note, let's do that. Let's add that to all of our goals. Let's make this year better. Whatever we're doing, let's do it bigger. Let's do it better. Let's do it with more love and more compassion and more kindness. Let's do that for Katherine's mom and for everyone that is battling ALS. Let's make that our 2024 goal. Katherine, you are incredible. Please give your mom the biggest hug for us and send her so much love, because I know we're all going to be sending prayers and love and support her way. And we will be there cheering you on in 2024 when you cross that finish line without having to call your boyfriend. It's not going to happen this year. I'm proclaiming it now. You're going to pass him up. You're going to beat him.
I really hope so.
It's going to happen. It is so going to happen. Thank you so much for being on. Is there anything you want to say to everybody before you take off for the night?
I always say this to people that I meet that I know are going through a similar situation as me, but I'm always here for anyone. If anyone wants to talk, if anyone, I know that everybody has their own little family, but I am always here. So please feel free to reach out. And another thing I always offer is I always offer to do things with people. So if someone finds an event that they want to go to but don't want to do it alone, I am your girl. So just let me know. We can find a way to message each other, reach out, and I am always here for anyone. That's what we are. We're a family. We do this for each other. So I just want everybody to know that if you need someone, you have me.
Aw, I love that. I love that. If anyone wants to get in touch with Katherine, just reach out to us. We will put you in contact because it sounds like she's your girl. And oh, we've got some more before we let you go. I just want you to be able to see this, Katherine. Katherine, you are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for your dedication to the ALS fight. Sending love and hugs to you and your mom, and stay strong. From our very own Carrie Ricky, one of our Sunflower Hour and ALS United family members. Stay strong. The Stay Strongs are pouring in, guys. It is true. She will stay strong, right? Stay strong to you and your mom, and we will see you. We will see you back out there running again very soon. Katherine, thank you so much for everything that you do.
Yeah, thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Have a very, very wonderful rest of your night. I'm sure we'll see you back again on an episode to come.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Have a great night. I just love our family. I keep saying that word tonight, but it is so important. We are a family, and all of you that are watching tonight are a part of it. So thank you for joining this family, and you get to see firsthand. This is where your donations, this is where your time, this is where your well wishes, all of it goes to people like Katherine and her mother for all of the things that they need. Let's help make their life a little bit better. And as Katherine, as we were saying, let's just make 2024 our best year yet. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it better. And everything we do, let's do it with more love and more hope and more positivity and strength and compassion, all those good things. Let's make this year incredible. I will see you guys again next month for the next live episode of Season Sunflower Hour. Tune in and join us then. But until then, everybody, be bright and shine your light.